Psych with Mike and Brett is now a book. Psych with Mike and Brett, A User's Guide to Being Human, is our new book that's available at Kendall Hunt, Barnes & Noble, and on Amazon. Pick up a copy today and leave a review. Also, find us on YouTube and subscribe to the podcast. That really helps us out. Now, it's time for Psych with Mike. Welcome into Psych with Mike. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Mahan, and we are coming to you today from the Psych with Mike clinical offices. And this is really just a little bit of messaging for people who are fans, historic listeners / viewers of Psych with Mike. Mr. Newcomb, Brett Newcomb, my co-host, has actually officially retired. And since we had done that a couple of years ago before we wrote the book, he didn't feel like he wanted to make any kind of an issue out of it. So the last episode from last week that you saw with Brett will be his last episode on the show. That being said, I am super excited for what that means about the future. I'm really excited about exploring different things that I want to do with the show, but I also wanted to get feedback from people who like and regularly access the show. So if that's you, if you're somebody who likes Psych with Mike, have heard Psych with Mike, maybe even consider yourself a fan of Psych with Mike, then if you have any kinds of feedback or any kinds of interest in things that you would like to see us do on the show, send those to me. psychwithmike.com. You can send me an email that way, or you can go to my website, michaelmahan.org, and send me a website or send me a message from that website. So just a couple of things I have planned are I'd like to start doing some interview-based kinds of shows, and I have one lined up on Jungian therapy in couples, which is something that I've been thinking about for a long time, doing Jungian-informed couples therapy. And so we will go more into that as we get closer to that interview. But I'd like to do some interviews, but I'd also like to do some explanation of psychological concepts that exclusively focus on a single idea, like cognitive distortions or some type of cognitive reframing, which is something that we talk about a lot in psychology. I'd like to talk a little bit about cognitive dissonance, which is something that I feel very, very strongly about, and we'll probably do an episode on that for next week. So I'd like to do some interviews. I'd like to do some shows that explain specific concepts, and then also what Brett and I typically did, which was to talk about a topic and kind of bandy it back and forth between the two of us and our two opposing or different viewpoints. But I do want to bring an intern in and start to actually help with some of the post-production. That's the stuff that goes on behind the scenes that you guys don't care about and aren't really interested in. But that's something that I am hoping to announce hopefully next week. But anyway, that's kind of where things are in the show's evolution. Don't forget that Brett and I did write a book, Psych with Mike and Brett, A User's Guide to Being Human, and we would love for you to go out and pick up a copy of that. Leave us a review on Amazon if you would. That is super, super helpful for the book, but also send us some feedback. Let us know how you received the book, if there are things that you liked about it, or even things that you didn't like about it. So going forward, I'm hoping to release episodes regularly, still hopefully every Friday, at least for now. If we started to get into some more in-depth storytelling, which is also something that I would really like to explore, is some in-depth storytelling on a specific topic from a psychological perspective. if we started to move the show into that kind of a format, it would make more sense then to do that as episodes. So we would have a certain number of episodes that we would drop every year, because that would take a lot more post-production to be able to get done. So those are some ideas that I have. Let me know if you have ideas, if there's things that you would like to see, if there's a specific direction that you would love to see us go in. Let me know, and I will try and incorporate those ideas into the show as quickly and as efficiently as possible. And as always, if it's Friday, it's Psych with Mike.